On this week's episode of Two Shit Blokes, Summer Sesh, we dive into the NRL's latest news, review the film Sinners, which will be highly controversial, break down the downfall of former NRL star Chris Sandow, and give our full review of 360 Action Park in Castle Hill, formerly known as Flip Out. Thanks to the Hills Podcast Studio at the beautiful Bella Vista Hotel for having us. Don't forget to follow and rate the show on Spotify. And of course, jump on Instagram and follow us there too. Sit back and relax and enjoy the show. All right, we'll kick off straight away with our comments.
What is it? What segment is it, Jason?
It's segment one, Dave.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Segment one. I deliberately did not even say because I know
because I would have reached across this table and wrapped that quarter around your throat.
Segment one. Comments. We've got Jez, our good gay lover. God, he's a good fella. Such a beautiful man. Hey, lads, first of all, Mo's tip for Chopper last week, do better. It was terrible. What was the paying, Dave, the tip?
I think it was $1.85, but hang on. Consider this is Jez, the worst punter in the history of mankind, has teed off on Mo Lester, who doesn't do a bad job. That's rough.
I love it, though. I love it. I love when you are that bad and you still want to sledge other people for being just as bad. I think it's the best.
Mate, I tell you, on the weekend, he was on fire again. So, anyway, we're not going to mention that.
All right, so he continues with the whole R360, Zach Lomax, Payne Haas, and Ryan Papsmear is a train wreck waiting to happen. Zach Lomax pulling out officially the day before he was due to start the preseason is beyond a joke. Anyway, lads, rant over. By the way, no more movie reviews. You're not on the ABC. No tips last week. Your confidence is that low. Yes, it is, actually.
It's dreadful.
There was nothing really to bet on. I suppose there was a few, but
You weren't feeling it. If you don't feel it, gamble responsibly.
Yeah, I wasn't. I rather would bet on the NFL, to be honest with you. It's hard, but I really actually, the options are there. But we'll talk about that later. He does the R360. I think we'll get on to that during the NRL news because there's obviously big stories at the moment. So the next comment is White Ant. No tips last week, so how exactly am I meant to know what to lay and what you two geniuses were backing so I could stay off? I sat there completely directionless, not guided, only by the worst punters on the planet. People just don't like
They don't like us.
They don't like our tips or us. Also disappointed the video returned. I have a suggestion. Could you please pixelate Dave's head next time? Might actually improve the viewing experience. And I generally feared for Jason's safety every time he dare mention what segment it was. Anyway, keep up the awful work. At least you're consistent. This is so brutal. I love it.
Thanks.
Oh, here we go. Mo Lester. Let's hang on. I want to see if he goes into his tips or how it failed because he loves sledging other people when their tips failed. Let's see. Hi, lads. Massive shout out to Jason for constantly reminding us what segment we're in. Without him, I'd be completely lost. See? People like it.
They're just picking at that nerve, aren't they?
Also, not sure why I'm copying strays. Did he write this or is that meant to be sprays?
Sprays.
From Jess, the gay lover, when he still hasn't tipped a single winner in 15 episodes. And Dave, mate, that camera, honestly, I've seen CCTV footage from a milk bar in 1987 with better resolution. I don't know, mate, it's not the resolution that can help us.
No, we don't want better resolution.
I want the camera like, when they throw Vaseline on it so it gets all smeared, you can't make out shit.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
It looked like you filmed the episode through a dirty fish tank.
We did, thank you.
Oh, man.
No, Jesus.
It's the same people, mate. Just tee off. I don't mind it.
Jesus, White Ant's just a complete lunatic.
All right, we're going to kick off with some NRL news, otherwise known as segment 2. NRL draw has been released. Dave, thoughts?
Well, firstly, the media blow up with the winners and losers based off last year's results. I think that's a complete load of crap.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Teams will improve. Some will go backwards. You don't know where it lies. You wouldn't, if you looked back at last season, you wouldn't expect some of the teams that made the 8 last year to.
Canberra Raiders, right?
Yeah.
So Canberra Raiders would have been thought as almost an easy beat.
Well, they were saying the Dolphins were going to come second last, and they were up and around. So,
so I agree. Yeah, I don't think you can take anything out of it other than it's exciting that it's back and you can start planning what games you're going to go to.
I think it's good that they release it early.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
I think that's good. I also think that they've changed. Last season, you could play the same team twice in a month, and they've now spread those games out. So you'll play them over an 8-week period or 12-week period.
That's
but
a good call.
I think that's a really good. They've done really well on the draw there.
I think that's a good call because it is a bit monotonous when that happens.
A bit disappointed in the. I knew what the Vegas games were, but I still think they're terrible games.
Yeah, I think it's hard with Vegas because they've already taken over Penrith, they've taken over Brisbane, the Roosters, so the Warriors have taken over some big names, right?
I think
you got to share it around.
I don't agree with that. I think the teams that come at the top of that come in the top 4 should get a choice whether they want to go or not, and then the teams that follow. So you get a reward because they get financially rewarded to go over there.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I just
so you earn the right to go over there, and you earn the right to have good teams over there instead of playing the freaking Dragons and the Knights and the Cowboys, which were complete shit last year.
Yeah, they were, but they've also got big fan bases, right? So the Dogs are going.
Well, the Dogs are going to the Vegas jails are going to be full.
They won't play up, mate. We know why they're not going to play up. Like,
well, half of them won't get in.
Have you seen the comedian Shane Gillies when he talks about Australia having no, like he said, Ireland has no black men.
Yep.
And he said you need black men to keep the white men
in check.
Otherwise, you get these idiots like Conor McGregor walking around. And I think that's what Vegas will be. Is like no one, like the Dogs fans might think, oh, we're going to run the show. No, I don't think they will.
Maybe they're not. So I had a look at the first month of football.
Yep.
There's some cracking games in the first month.
Give me some.
All right. So week 1, if you get past Vegas, which is complete shit, you've got Warriors and the Roosters.
Yeah, good game.
You got Broncos and the Panthers.
Great game.
I know what this is. People are going to say based on last year, this isn't a great game, but I think the Sharks and the Titans will be a cracker because I'm expecting a big improvement from the Titans this year.
Yeah.
All right. You won't agree?
No. Actually, I want to see their final team. I just think that unproven coach. I want to.
They're going to come out strong.
I want to see what their team does.
And the other game was Manly and the Raiders. So that's they're 4 cracking games the first week.
Do you think they're all good though at the moment? We're looking at it because it's such an even comp.
I think it's going to be a great year, like across the board. Second week, you got the Warriors and the Raiders. You got the local derby, the Roosters and the Rabbits. I expect the Rabbits will be improved. And then you got the Panthers and the Sharks, which is 2 highly rated football teams.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Week 3 is an absolute cracker. You've got Raiders, Dogs, Panthers, Roosters, Storm, Broncos.
Yeah, right.
That's cracking,
That's
right?
pretty good, yeah.
And then the following week, you've got Manly, Roosters, Broncos, Dolphins, which is the local derby up there. Is always a good game of football.
That will be a cracking game.
You may not agree with this, but another local derby, which is the Panthers and the Eels.
No, I think local derbies are great, yeah.
And the Raiders and the Sharks always put on a good show. I know there's a fair bit of Sharks involved there, but
I wonder why.
They are my
Says the
team.
guy
Did you
sitting
have
there.
anything
No.
sitting here in a Sharks jersey?
Yeah, sitting there in a Sharks jersey talking about the Sharks. No.
No?
No. I didn't actually. I just love listening to what you had to say because I do agree that first month of footy is going to be obviously fantastic. I think the games you've mentioned are going to be 5-star. But as we saw with this year when the season started, teams that we thought were going to be very good just simply were not. And other teams that we thought, like the Raiders, we thought were going to be poor, came out to be outstanding and they put on some of the best attacking football. The Dolphins, I think, lost their first 5 or 6 games and turned it around and should have finished top 4, but injuries got the better of them.
Yep.
I think that's what's more exciting, that we look at a draw and go, oh, they're the good matchups, etc. But until kickoff, you don't actually know.
No, you don't.
And I know for me, in the 2025 draw, I thought that the Dogs had the easiest draw early, which put them in a position where they were leading the comp or coming second most of the year. Then they went on that run where they played every top team.
Yep, and got run over.
And got absolutely destroyed and went out in straight sets.
And we blamed Galvin.
We blame Galvin, I still do. Yep. So I think that, you're going to have that again where some teams might seem to appear to get an easier draw and then all of a sudden it doesn't work out that way and they're under the pump early, the pressure's on the coach, et cetera, et cetera. So, I think the teams I see that will be in trouble early if they fall behind early will be the Tigers because there's always pressure on them.
Yep.
Manly, I think Manly's on the way backwards. I am concerned for them.
I agree.
I think
St George are going to struggle.
I think the Roosters will be interesting with what DCE does. I have stated, and I'll say it again, I think that he is that one step slower, and I think that will start to show. And I think if you're halfback slow, you're in trouble.
This was one of the questions I wrote down here for you. You going Walker at 7 and DCE at 6? Or are you going the other way around?
Other way. DCE is a proven 7.
Yeah. It says Walker's so good.
I agree. And
that's why I don't know why they bought him and just didn't keep Hugo.
Walker's coming back into the team after, so he's been obviously came back mid-season after an ACL, and I won't say everyone knows, but it does appear to be that you still need about that 6 to 12 month period after you come back from an ACL to have the confidence, the speed, the strength to play. He'll be there now, but
I think that the way that they're doing the knees now, I think they're recovering a lot faster than they were.
I'll end up with egg on my face, and I'm happy to do so. The Roosters will have probably one of the oldest fullbacks in the comp and the oldest 7 in the comp.
Yep.
They've got a very good hooker coming down, Robson from the Cowboys.
Yep.
But I think age will catch up to that team.
Let's hope so.
Age or injury.
Yep.
And age usually can go hand in hand. So, yeah, I don't know. Mate, I think the games you've raised, I think Penrith will always be there as long as Cleary's on the field. They've got a very good team after what we saw last year. I think the Dogs will go backwards.
I don't understand why they're bagging him so much at the moment, Cleary. I know he's not playing the lights out, but he's still one of the best players in the world.
You can bag him all you want, mate. I don't think he cares. He's got the grand finals to show for it. He steps up in those big games in grand finals.
Agreed.
Yeah, whatever. I think, the Dogs might go backwards. Newcastle Knights will be in trouble. It's exciting, though, to start talking about it. I love it.
Can't wait, man.
All right, so the other one is we've got, obviously, Zach Lomax released from the Eels as of, yesterday?
Yesterday. To, allegedly.
Rugby 360.
Yeah, apparently Volandis has doubled down on his threat of 10 years. Yeah. I don't know what they're going to pay Lomax. I know Lomax, just checked in, Lomax was on $650 a year at Parramatta.
Yep.
I thought that was a reasonable sum of money for him. I think he's a really good winger.
Well, they're talking about $2 million with Rugby 360.
Yeah. Still got to get up.
Yeah, they're going to announce some of their big signings, obviously. It'll be interesting if Payne Haas signs, because what does he do next year, right?
Well, why would he tell anyone?
He doesn't have to, but no, but Rugby 360 want a name.
Yeah.
So they're going to want to announce him.
Well, then they're going to have to pay him.
Because if Volandis is serious, he's going to have to stand him down straight away.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Volandis plays. I don't think he's the type of guy you want to call his bluff.
Mate, I think he's the best administrator, definitely in rugby league, I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What he did through COVID, not only set rugby league on track, it showed the other competitions,
how
AFL,
to run.
Rugby union, everything, how to run.
Yeah.
He set the benchmark. And
also, do you know the NFL copied his approach as well?
Yeah. They had during that time, but which is the reason they stopped playing, they got an expert in, like a disease expert, who said, no, you've got to shut everything down.
Yeah.
So they did. And then Volandis like, hang on, that's one opinion. Let's get others. Yeah. And then he said, look, I want other opinions. And the majority, everyone disagreed with the first one. Said, you don't need to. If you have a proper system in place, you can do it. And he set the standard for it. And
the Queensland government wanted it there, so then they were motivated to get all the teams there because they knew they were going to make money out of it. Yep. So
it's the best, mate. So mate,
he did very, very well.
He won't stuff around. I've got no issue with them going. I think it's sad they're going because they like, as I said, I love watching Pappenhausen, and Lomax is great to watch.
Both New South Wales blokes, all three of them.
Haas. The thing is, though, and I know the money's great, and you can, your bank balance is going to reflect it.
Yeah.
But in terms of job satisfaction, I just don't see it.
I'm pretty satisfied if I'm in $3 million a year.
But yeah. But once that's all said and done, right. And we talk about legacy, and it's like legacy doesn't pay the bills. I get that, right? But like, you're going to go out and you're going to play in front of a crowd. You're going to play for a jersey that means nothing.
Yep. In
a competition that means nothing.
Yep.
Before people that it's more of a novelty. Yeah, okay, and your paycheck reflects it, and you're seeing some beautiful parts of the world, right? But then after that, I don't know. I just think that you'll be watching the grand final and you'll be envious. You'll be watching Origin going,
Yeah, I'd be saying these managers would be going, mate, we'll sign, but you've got to put a bank guarantee in that you're going to that $3 million, and if it doesn't happen, we'll keep the $3 million, or we'll keep whatever they're signing for. So there'll be signing bonuses and all that sort of stuff to entice them. But if I'm Lomax and I'm earning $650 a year in rugby league guaranteed, or I'm going to play a competition where it's $2 million a year, but we don't know if it's actually going to happen, I'm too conservative to.
Mate, I'm going to say, it's similar, not similar to what they did with the Newcastle Knights when Nathan Tinkler bought them.
Yeah.
A lot of people were happy that the billionaire was on board and he was going to shower them in money, and he did. But then there was a couple, I'll say one, but there was a couple of people, what I believe, said...
Well, Ray Hadley says the dumbest move he's ever seen his whole entire life.
Well, no.
During it.
Yeah, but he said, so a few people within the board said, we want $10 million guaranteed in the bank, just sitting there, that if you walk away, stuff up, go broke, whatever, that's ours, and you have to sell it back to us for $1.
Yeah.
And that was a contract. And that saved the club, because he was notorious for not paying people. Notorious for it.
Especially in horse racing.
Yeah. And those stories started to filter. And even at the Knights, people were starting to complain about being paid late.
Well, the physios were all not getting paid, and media people that were...
Yeah, like he was just a prick.
Yeah, Sparky.
So, yeah, they're just low.
You can't trust them.
They're just low people.
You just can't trust them.
But, and I think that's the kind of mindset, and that's what I say, is that's a mindset, Lomax.
But if you're truly a billionaire, right, you don't buy a football team if you like to keep your money.
I'm sorry, I would.
I know,
I completely disagree.
But your new money.
If I'm a billionaire and I want a toy, I'm buying the West Tigers, and I would breach the shit out of that salary cap. I would have so many great players in that team.
Yeah. All third parties through. Third parties through my company. Yeah. That's got nothing to do with the Tigers.
Their wives would be like cleaners earning like $500 a year. Right. Like it's just be amazing.
Just cheat.
I would cheat blatantly, and I wouldn't hide it.
All right, let's hope he's not a billionaire. There's no risk of you being a billionaire anytime soon, Jason.
Seriously.
The way you spend money.
It's not me, it's my wife. All right, let's go.
Let's go. Fallen stars.
All right, we're going to discuss Chris Sandow. All right, so Chris Sandow, for those who don't know, was a halfback for South Sydney and Parramatta during the mid-2000s. He was an Indigenous player from Queensland, born and bred in Queensland, with the South Logan team up there, which is a rugby league breeding ground. He was a highly touted halfback, only small in stature. So he comes down, he plays for South Sydney in 2008, wins their under 23s player of the year, was it NYC Cup?
Yep. So your initial contract was $30K.
Yeah. So he wins their player of the year. But in that same year, he actually debuts as a 19-year-old for South Sydney, round 13. Yep.
South hadn't won too many games that year.
And they were smashed with injuries.
Smashed, yep.
So he comes into the team, and then from 2008 to 2011, he plays 84 games. He's not your traditional halfback in the spirit of, like, he's not a game manager. He's more of that...
off the cuff.
Yeah, you'd say off the cuff, compare him to someone, Dave. Like, who would you say that like a Preston Campbell?
Yep.
That kind of real spark, he brings the attack to life. But one thing you always remember about Chris Sandow, always played with a massive smile on his face, like he was having the best time out there.
Yep.
As I said, he played 84 games for South. He was very good for them. And then in 2011, Parramatta, so for the 2012 season, Parramatta say, we'll give you 4 years, approximately $600,000 a year, which was huge money.
It was 1.6 to 2.2 million.
Yeah, for 4 years. At that time too, that was a really big deal.
And his first year he was outstanding.
Yeah, he was.
He won the Ken Thornton medal for the Parramatta Player of the Year, so he was outstanding.
Yeah, he was. He was very good for them in that year. Unfortunately, from there, it started to drop off.
He went to shit.
Yeah, he was dropped numerous times to reserve grade.
Because he was too fat?
Yeah, his fitness was poor. And he's consistent. And as people will say, he wasn't fit. He wasn't prepared for the matches, so his fitness then obviously was bad. So the rest of his game fell away. Also, there was significant rumours around gambling early on at Parramatta. I do, and I'm not risking a lawsuit or anything, but I have mates who used to drink at the Royal Oak Hotel, and it was not uncommon to see Chris Sandow in there quite often, even after games. He would go in there and smash the pokies.
I don't think that's alleged. I think that's a fact.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to.
I think but you got to say, like, I have friends that have seen him in there, which is quite sad. I know Parramatta did try and have a bit of a system in place to make sure that money was getting through to the family, etc. So he did have off-field issues, and they were quite significant.
Yep.
They cut him in 2015. So the last few years of his play was very poor.
Got a $50,000 handshake to get the hell out the door.
Yeah. So that's how bad they were.
That was based on
off-field issues.
So he called out the coach, Brad Arthur, about his game plan. Went on a foul-mouthed rant on Facebook. Obviously ongoing gambling issues in the background. And he crashed a loan car on the way to the game and left it on the side of the road and called a cab to the game and told no one. Destroyed this car. Absolutely destroyed it.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Yep.
So they're not just minor issues; they're significant issues, right? So he was probably one of the highest paid players in the game at the time.
Yep.
And then after that, no one would touch him. So he ends up in England. He plays for Warrington in the Super League from 2016, only for 2 years. He actually played very well over there for them. Got him to, I think, the championship game over there. But again, weight and discipline issues obviously hindered him again. And in 2016, they punted him as well.
Yeah, so he made the Challenge Cup final and the Super League Grand Final, but didn't win either of them.
So he comes back. He goes back to the Queensland comp, doesn't do anything from there. So in total, he had 155 NRL games. In 2016, he was involved in a street fight. In 2018, he was charged with public nuisance. He had also other off-field alcohol-related issues. In 2022, he got done for assault, police and dangerous driving. And then, unfortunately, more recently, he got done for carrying a weapon in 2025. Carry a weapon. Willful damage. Now, the willful damage involved throwing rocks at cars and damaging them, right?
Yep.
So that's how petty he was getting. He got done for assault, police and drug possession. Now, unfortunately, the drug possession, from what I believe, was the drug ice.
Yeah, it was meth.
Which is as bad as you can get. So if he's gone down that path, it's going to be a very difficult road back.
Also going to petrol stations and filling his car up and forgetting to pay.
Yeah, so you get something for the fraud for that. So unfortunately, he got jailed for 9 months. He's due out for release in March of next year. And where he goes from there, who knows? But it is 155 NRL games is nothing to sneeze at. At the peak of his talent, he was an exceptional rugby league player in the sense of he just brought the crowd to life when he touched the ball. But off-field issues got the better of him and he just couldn't shake it, and it cut short what could have been a very great career.
It's very, very sad when you get a man that is as talented as what Sandow was, and he doesn't better his life from growing up in a country town which doesn't have a lot of resources, and they're running around a lot of violence and theft and stuff in his country town that he grew up in, and he had the opportunity to pull himself out of that, and he chose not to do that.
What are your thoughts on the club and the NRL's responsibility when they have a player like that who is going off the rails? They know it.
That's what he's got a manager for.
Well,
I think a manager's got to, if you got a guy like who loves the punt, who loves the drink, it's the manager. That's what you're paying him 10% for, is to manage your money, to make sure that your family's got enough money to deal with it, that you manage his gambling and
give you an allowance,
all that sort of stuff.
I know players out there that have had very strong partners that have been the ones that have said, yeah, okay, you go and do that, and I won't be here when you get home.
I just don't think it's the employer, being the clubs or the NRL's job to deal with gambling and alcohol issues. I just don't think it's their job.
I think it's their job if they're happy for him to turn up and play well, knowing what's happening on the sidelines and not do a thing about it. Right? I think at the very least,
that's the manager's job.
Yeah, but I think they've got an obligation to at least tell the manager, or their welfare department and say, you need to address this issue because this won't end well for the sake of his kids. And he does have a number of kids.
Look, I had, not in the company that I work at now, but a prior company when I was running an electrical company, I had a guy whose wife who rang me and said, listen, if you pay this bloke on a Thursday afternoon, that money is gone Friday morning. I need you to pay us. You need to put the money in my bank account and not put it in his because he'll drink and gamble the whole thing away in a night.
Very cool.
And we were quite happy to do that.
Yep.
He wasn't very happy about it. But at the end of the day, it wasn't legal. We weren't allowed to do it. We weren't allowed to pay his missus.
I get that. But
what was he going to do?
What's the moral, though? I think you've done the right thing. You take the moral road.
You
have to do what's right. That's right. So you have to think of that, right?
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. The club has to do. The club pays him. So if they know that every week...
But that's for the manager to go to the club. Listen,
yes,
don't pay that bloke.
But if the club knows about it, what I'm saying is they have an obligation to have that matter taken on.
But the thing about it is, for me, was that the wife rang the office and said, can you take care of this for me? And I went, yeah, sure, no problem. Because one of the things that was annoying to me about him is he was coming in on the Monday and saying, can I have my pay early? And you're going, mate, you got paid on Thursday. You're coming in on Monday and wanting your dough. So, and it happens all the time with guys that have got, obviously, alcohol and gambling issues.
You drive past any pub, you see the tradie utes in there on a Thursday, then they're stacked 10 deep, and unfortunately that is. But
it's not that bad now. It was 10 years ago. It's not that bad. And women don't put up with it. Nor should they.
And that's what I was saying. Like, there are some players I know. I think Ryan, what's his name for the Canberra? Not Ryan, the front rower, big fella.
Not the redhead.
No, the big guy. Can't think of his name. He was on fire towards the end of the year. His missus came out and said that he had a gambling problem, and her ultimatum to him was either me or the pokies.
Yep.
And he said, done, I'm giving them away. Some people don't have that influence in their life to do that.
Agreed.
And I think, I don't know, particularly, you do see, Chris Sandow was a proud Aboriginal young fella, mate, and he comes to the game and, he gets enticed by everything. I would have liked to have seen more done. That's all.
Yeah, I don't agree with you, but I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
Right? Some guys we don't know what the clubs did, but sometimes there's people you can't help.
You know what? You're right. We don't know what the club did. They might have tried everything and it still didn't work out, and that unfortunately happens. But it just it's a sad story
because they're adults. At the end of the day, you can say, mate, do you want cancelling for
the NFL,
your gambling addiction or your alcohol addiction or your coke addiction or whatever your addiction is?
The NFL is no different, mate. I guess at basket, NBA is no different. The players are earning multi-million-dollar deals and. They got 10 kids from 8 different women, and they've got every piece of jewelry, and they're doing all sorts of badness. And the money goes, and no one's there to say, "Hey, don't do it." Everyone's got their hand out, so they can do it, get the paid now, and the players.
Well, there's guys running around with $200,000 worth of diamonds and stuff on their neck, and they're earning $1 million a year, and you go, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, no, it's just a sad story, mate. I think
But in America, it's worse because their poverty is so. Some of those guys come from such low.
They're living in cars and homeless shelters and stuff with their family, and they're the meal ticket. They're the ride out. Yeah. And when they get there was some players like they literally spend their whole contract in like a week gone. Their 1 year's contract gone because it's just like this is all new, and you can't tell them because it's like, well, I've never had this, so I'm going to do it. And they look after their mum, their uncle, their brother, their sister. Everyone gets looked after.
They're buying people houses all over the shop.
Yeah.
And then when the money runs out, you can't find them.
I completely agree.
Anyway, poor old Chris. I feel for him, but you got to make your own decisions. So.
Yeah, no, I do. Joe Tappaney. That was his name. His wife came out recently.
Oh, Smoking Joe.
Yeah, he came out only recently and said...
he's been awesome for New Zealand.
Yeah, well, that kind of was on that story about his form. And she said, because he did have a bit of a checkered past. He was at Newcastle and kind of didn't really hit his straps till, a bit later. But he was the one that had a gambling problem and they had to address it. And his missus was the one that said, I'll do it.
Well, Hindy had a gambling.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Again, self-confessed. All right.
You got to own it, mate, if you're doing the wrong thing.
All right, so Dave wants to do a Giants rant that no one really cares about.
Oh, we can just talk a little NFL for a minute.
Okay, let's talk about the NFL.
All right, you go first. You're angry about your stuff.
I am angry about the Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are my team. They're 8-2, and it's hard to be angry against a team that's only lost 2 games. But they're not playing anywhere near well. Their offense is absolutely dreadful.
Yeah.
Their offensive coordinator is brand new and he's under the pump. His play calling is baffling in a really bad way. Their quarterback play is poor. There's recent articles coming out saying that the team are off the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, and they feel because when they come up against zone defenses, he doesn't react well and he's not willing to push passes into tight windows, which means he's not willing to let the receivers try and do their thing. I just am really concerned that they've scored a touchdown this week. They scored 1 touchdown last week. They've won those games.
Well, what about the regression of
Saquon
Barkley?
Saquon Barkley last year had 2,000 yards
Yeah.
and was the NFL Offensive Player of the Year. This year he's on 600 yards. He hasn't. I think he's broken 100 yards maybe once.
I think he only got 60 today.
Yeah, and that is because teams now aren't worried about the pass. They just can clog the box,
stacking the box, yeah,
and just like run, mate. You're not going to go anywhere because they know that the offense will not test on the pass. And I've never rated Nick Sirianni as a coach.
Yes, that is true.
And I know they won a Super Bowl. Yes, they did. That was fantastic. But the regression of this team offensively is dire.
Yeah.
So
They keep winning.
I just
Their defense, they win. Their defense wins
is
the games.
outstanding.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that they got every weapon. Some of the passes by Hurts was dreadful. They've got an interesting backup quarterback that I think people will start to get a bit itchy for if Hurts still starts to struggle. He's just not a good pocket quarterback at the moment.
Who's the backup?
His name, Tanner McGee. That's his name is. And there were trade calls made about him. He was outstanding in the preseason. Hurts even today missed wide open Saquon Barkley on a touchdown pass. I sailed over his head.
Oh, mate, that wasn't the only one.
He's just not well. I think he started the game 3 from 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
He just couldn't hit anything. But it's even...
He couldn't hit a barn door. Like, I'm serious. It was so bad.
When you watch other teams play that have good receivers, they're open. And they're open in good... Like... by a little bit, they throw them and the ball guys open. You watch the Eagles play, no one's open.
Yeah.
And
a couple of those deep throws, he threw them.
Terrible.
Usain Bolt couldn't get there in that amount of time.
I haven't read the reviews from the game, and I'd be interested to find out what's said, but it was just dreadful. So, yeah, it's just more... And look, it's hard to be angry at a team that's 8-2, but there are holes there. So, anyway, that's my rant.
Well, mine is very basically and very quickly about the New York Giants, who last week sacked their coach and should have sacked 2 more blokes. Should have sacked the GM Schuhen. He should have went. But they're apparently keeping him. But the bloke that I really can't stand, and I'm so sick to death of the bend don't break coverage. They play so soft.
I hate bend don't break. So for you got to explain. So for listeners, bend don't break in the NFL means that they're happy for a team to actually drive down the field, probably to what's called the red zone, which is like within 20 yards out from a touchdown. And the idea is that, well, if we can stop them, keep them to 3 points and we score 7, we're going to win. But bend don't break, you have to actually be pretty good at it.
And we ain't.
And when you're breaking more than bending, it's a problem.
Well, I'll put it to you this way, Jace. We have very good edge rushers. We've got a very good front four.
Burns is leading the league in sacks.
Yeah, he is, right? We have dreadful safeties and corners,
yep.
right? And to implement a bend don't break,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
No.
So,
but you also need a good offense to score. So even if they're kicking,
but here's the thing, right? We have been in front in the fourth quarter 5 times this year. 4 of them double digits.
Yeah, but you're a shit team.
Yeah, no, I get that. But if you fucking stupid idiot DC, right, calling them to be standing on the first down markers, right? And they're just flicking slants all over the place and doing 7 and 8 yard slants all day.
Who called out the DC during a loss recently? Was it Burns? Someone called him out during the game.
But then the problem now is, right, that the defence have got the shits because of the pattern he's playing the game, because they don't have the tools. You got to have good corners to do, Den. Yeah. You got to have good safeties. You got to have really good linebackers that can read that, to fill that zone areas. It's complete shit. It's, you know, you can't sit 10 yards off every receiver and pray that they mess up. You just can't do it. These quarterbacks are too good in the NFL.
I know.
You know, they take the 3 yards and march down the field and bury you, right? And everything opens up in the fourth quarter, and these fucking idiots.
Dave's lost
it. Mate, it's just...
He's so angry. It's great.
Mate, Shane Bowen is calling plays like it's bloody 1998. It's just... You can't blow fourth quarter with no pressure, no aggression, and then hope the good teams get bored. It's bullshit.
Where is the reluctance to sack the GM?
Well, I don't know, man. Ownership don't want to get rid of him. He's obviously good at polishing. That's obviously what he's good. He's just, you know, eyes wide shut parties at the Giants headquarters. I don't know why they're not punting him, but they should be.
I would punt him. You let go. I mean, Daniel Jones is yet to be decided, but I think you let go Saquon Barkley, which is just ridiculous.
How do you let him go and not get first round pick?
You know, the biggest thing about letting him go, even the Dallas Cowboys, it's called the poison pill. When they traded
Parsons,
Micah Parsons to Green Bay, they put in a clause that Green Bay can't trade him to the Eagles.
Right.
Because
we just give him.
This is what I'm saying. So teams with good GMs will say, if we're going to play a team twice a year, which you do in your conference, you are not to make that conference better if we give you a great player. So they send him to Green Bay, which is fine. They go, we'll play Green Bay maybe once a year if we're lucky. But you're not to give him the Eagles, who we'd have to play twice during the regular season and in the playoffs if we go that far. So that's what Saquon Barkley could have been that. Like, if you Saquon Barkley
put 120 yards on us the first time he played us. That's how fucking stupid we are. If you want to give him away,
send him to another conference and then say, don't give him to the Eagles.
This is awesome that I got so angry, and we're going to do the next bit.
So, and how about what's Sam Darnold today? Did you see that?
Yeah, he was pretty poor.
4 interceptions. They worked him out.
And they nearly got it done too.
Nearly, yeah. It's unbelievable. It was a crazy game. All right, so Dave's angry, and now we're going to do a movie review. And the reason we're still going to do a movie review, I know it probably wasn't as well received as what the...
the issue is we both like the movies.
Yeah.
And now we're doing
we're going to do a movie which I really liked, and Dave hated with a passion. So the movie's called Sinners. It's a 2024 movie with Michael B. Jordan in it.
Twice.
And Haley Steinfeld. And it's about, basically, it's set in the 1930s in the south of America, where they have a party, and during the party, vampires come and attack everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a story about survival, etc. during that. If you want to compare it to something, you can go like Dusk Till Dawn, okay, one of Quentin Tarantino's early movies.
That's offensive to Dusk Till Dawn.
So I'll let Dave go.
You could telling how good you like this stupid movie.
So the movie centers on two twins, whose names are Smoke and Stack.
And who are they played by?
Michael B. Jordan.
Twice.
So yeah, well, they're identical.
One's
twins.
A cranky bloke and one's a happy bloke. Righto, here we go.
So they're identical twins.
Oh yeah, they're identical. All right.
So it's set in the 30s, around the Prohibition time. I think the backstory is that these guys used to work with like the mob, like the Capones and that in Chicago. They've branched off on their own, and they want to set up a bit of a club, make some money, and they have this big party. Sell drinks and stuff, make a fortune until the vampires come along and really ruin it. Now, the music in it for me was exceptional. The cinematography I thought was brilliant. It has a 97 rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it means nothing.
Well, it actually does mean something, but you say it doesn't.
It means absolutely fuck all.
I will say the movie does go for quite some time, which is a bit of a surprise. Like, it kind of just does drag on a bit too much. But for me, it made $400 million worldwide. And it's something that is just a bit different. I really rated it. Now, Dave hated it, and he's going to tell us why.
Okay, so I'll give you the music. I thought the music in it was great. All right? The rest of it was dog shit. Absolute dog's breakfast. You got some fancy-pantsy cinematography of two blokes, exact same actors, taking cigarettes off themselves for whatever reason. Who fucking knows, right? It looked cool.
It looked cool.
But at the end of the day, the script was shit. What is it? Is it a period piece? Is it a musical? Is it a vampire movie? Is it a fucking horror movie? Is it a drama? Is it a blues opera? Is it a ghost story? What about...
It's clearly a horror movie with vampires.
It's not a fucking horror movie. It's fucking awful. And you got. Let's get with the... I don't even know if they're vampires or what the fuck they were, but at the end of the day, they had to ask permission to go into the barn.
Okay.
Seriously. A complete load. Can I come inside and kill you? Fuck off.
Have you seen the movie Lost Boys?
Yes.
What is one of the rules? They give the rules of being of a vampire, right?
Okay, all right.
And
why don't they just put some solar around the door and then
one of the rules is
through.
You must be invited in. You can't go in. And it's even in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The same thing. You can't go into someone's house unless you're invited in.
Would they invite him in?
They didn't invite him in.
Well, how'd they get in?
One girl actually screamed, come in, because they were going to kill her. See, you haven't even watched the movie yet.
It's a movie in the history of mankind.
It was a great movie that you just didn't like.
A barn, fair income. You got bloody... It was so shit. And what about when they're playing the music and they go, oh, in the background there's a voiceover going, it brings in the past and the present, and you got ghosts of the past, and then they got rappers, and it was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my whole life. What an atrocious movie that had no real storyline.
That's fine.
It was complete crap.
That's fine. But do you understand you're the minority here?
So I don't mind.
97% Rotten Tomatoes, one of the highest rated movies of all time.
It was the biggest load of crap, and
You are the biggest load of crap. Continue.
This is the worst, and I implore anyone not to watch that dog shit.
I want people to watch it and accept certain people, because I want people to watch it and give her an opinion. I thought it was a very good movie, something a bit different. I love the movie Dusk Till Dawn. I thought it was a bit in line with that, just with better music. I thought it was it was just different.
It was that good I fell asleep in it for the second time and had to go put myself through it again. And I can't believe how bad it was. It was the worst movie
I thought Haley Steinfeld, I thought, was excellent in it.
Well, I didn't think anyone was excellent in it.
I don't think you're excellent at all. You suck. All right, we're going to move on now.
That was the worst, Jason.
You are the worst. All right, we're going to go into a review of Flip Out, now known as...
No, it's not called that.
306. Can I finish?
No. Are we going to fight?
We're fighting. You are. Anyway, so 360 Action Park, formerly known as Flip Out at Castle Hill.
Yep, this is my favourite.
I've just read the first line from the first review.
Yep.
I've seen this name before. I'm sure this person does a lot of reviews.
Second.
So we've got Pawan Call. Second review. I'm sure I've seen the first review. So Pawan says, this is only 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Got police call threat from management. Worst experience ever have. Booking kids' birthday parties every year in this venue, and every year bring our own pizza. But they said this year they've changed the policy so you can't bring your pizzas. They sent 10 to 12 emails, and somewhere they mentioned it. Generally, we don't read that much thoroughly. We just saw our booking confirmation, and that's it. On the day, we got our pizzas, and kids were halfway of taking their food, and their employee came to us and said, you can't get pizzas from our side as per our policy. We requested them, and that they were not aware, but we're doing this every year, and requested that this mistake has already happened, so let it go, and we'll take care of next time, because that we will explain to kids at this stage. This guy can't... It's terrible English.
Terrible.
It makes it sound like I'm
you're retarded. Yep.
It does. But she said, leave the hall immediately or she will call the police. We had to pack up half-eaten food and all the kids were disappointed. I'm sorry. They sent you 12 emails telling you not to. You chose not to read them.
Right. And I'm sure you weren't that polite either, young man.
Say, what the fuck?
You're a dickhead.
I like people just make up the rules and go, just let it go this time. We'll fix it up next time.
You cheap bastard.
After we ignored 12 emails.
Yeah.
All right. So the response from the owner. Well, we got a response. Man, the emails clearly say you can't bring in pizza, like it's a condition of entry. This is actually from the owner. So simply, and yet you wanted to make a 1-star review over your inability to read. 1 star to you, my friend. Oh wow, that's all. All right, we've got Ava Stanton.
Well done, Ava.
I mean, I had fun when I went there. It was a group of boys who were tackling with other and being reckless, taking up the whole space. The trampolines have these little holes in them, which are the only thing making me not continue to visit. It broke my bracelet, chipped my nail, and it started bleeding.
Oh, my God.
What's she doing on the trampoline? She sounds like she's 40. And my hands and feet continue to get stuck in little cracks on the trampoline. I would come here more often as I live near really close if they have at least one long trampoline like they have red ones at the back, but without any holes, so us gymnasts can do our tricks and passes without getting interrupted by gaps. It's a kid's area and she's out there doing like an Olympic routine.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't facilitate that. That's shocking.
All right, the response from the owner. You had fun, but 1 star. Fun would be 3 stars. Boring might be 2, and 1 is not for me. I'd hate to think what 5 stars would be for you. I want to get the owner here on. Can we get the owner here?
Let's see. I'll go and see tomorrow.
All right. Oh, we've got Lou G.
Oh, Lou. You're in big trouble, mate.
Fuck you.
You're a fuckwit, Lou.
This is ridiculous. Your company didn't bother to understand what happened, yet you are blaming and attacking me. All right. I'm saying Lou's at fault.
Lou, you got to 100%.
I fully agree with your company's alcohol policy.
Were you turning up to flip out with alcohol?
And after your male employee informed me, I completely understood and followed the rules.
No,
okay.
No, you didn't.
Do you know what the issue is? I believe your female administrator mistook me for someone else. She didn't get the facts straight and aggressively blamed and attacked me. Since your friendly male employee informed me of the rules, we haven't drunk any beer.
So he's writing this in real time.
Later, my friends and I found out about the female administrator informed another male friend of ours about the alcohol policy and asked us to remove the alcohol. Mm-hmm. However,
seems reasonable.
That male was feeling unwell. That guy was pissed as a fart.
Throwing up in the restroom.
So didn't have a chance to come and inform us about this. The female administrator suddenly approached me and angrily accused me, threatening to cancel our birthday party in front of many children and friends. Who's getting shit-faced at Flip Out with the kid's birthday party?
Wouldn't even think to take Rob to Flip Out.
No.
Jesus.
I had never been spoken to before, so I had no idea what she was talking about and didn't understand why she was being so rude. I was extremely angry, but I didn't argue with her because I didn't want to ruin our children's birthday party. I don't believe
you. Lies.
Lou, I'm pretty sure you ruined your kid's birthday party.
Yeah, you did well, Lou.
I don't need an apology from your company.
You're not getting one,
mate. I know how tough your attitude is toward customers. I know that your company will always protect your employees rather than trying to understand what really happened. All right, we've got a response from the owner.
I love it.
Hi, Lou. Here's a thought. We do not want you or your alcohol back. What you neglected to mention to your post was that your guest was walking around the centre not only drinking from bottles of beer, but leaving them unattended for young children to access. We repeatedly asked you to take the alcohol to the car and were repeatedly ignored. We will not apologise for being an alcohol-free venue.
Hold on.
We need this person in here
to tell us all her flip-out stories.
I want a flip-out story. Oh, all right, we've got San Oz. Please recalibrate your coffee machine. Such water, bitter coffee, way too hot. Burnt my tongue. I would think that staff working in the kitchen would make an effort to clean around all the beverage machines and bench tops instead of staring into space or having chats and laughs while customers are around. Revolting. Wow, it's tough. I'm sorry, but you must have been having a bad day to write that sort of review. Why don't you come back for another coffee or make sure it's perfect? The owner's the best. All right, here we go. We've got Malanai Paradaman.
Yep.
I think you just pick the hardest names.
I
man.
do. I don't even worry about the reviews. I just pick ones to see if I can get you to fuck it up.
Disappointing to visit 360 Action Park, despite being an indoor venue. There was no air conditioning, making it unbearably hot, especially for kids who started feeling dizzy from the heat. The cafe was also very hot and no cooling fans. The party area seems cramped. Not sure if they're properly party rooms. Limited activity options further added to the underwhelming experience. Not recommended on warm days. Okay, the owner here, I think, disagrees.
Response from the owner.
Sounds like you might have come on a really hot day. There is cooling in the arena, and all the party tails and rooms are actually air-conditioned, as is the laser tag centre. We'll keep working to improve our centre, though. Oh, you could add a beer ago. Yeah, right. All right, we've got David Van Dungen. Unfortunately, a lot more rules implemented lately, getting hounded for not hopping with 2 feet at a time, one kid at a time on the basketball trampoline. Too many rules. Why do you think there are rules in these places now?
Because people break their bones.
Pretty much. Been going about once every 3 months, but the new strict rules, I hope they got kids then they're going, otherwise this sounds really weird.
Yeah.
But the new strict rules will mean we do not return for after school or birthdays. Fun police have shut this place down. Seems the new rules are for the insurance-cited reasoning. Fix your insurance policy. What a joke.
Yeah, because you got control over the insurance policy.
I don't write a lot of bad reviews, but I only write them when they're legit bad organisations. You have gone out of your way to have lowered your business quality for me to go out of my way to review it poorly. Okay, it's harsh.
Response from the owner.
The owner. David. We also told you not to stick the fork in the PowerPoint, not to drink the dishwashing detergent, not to slam your finger in the car doors, and don't eat batteries. Seriously, you want to say we tell you how to jump? Your review is ridiculous as my reply. See you next time. All right, we've got Leanne Jade. The female boss owner is a bully and treats her staff really badly in front of kids, parents, and other staff. Not professional at all. I can see lawyers getting involved soon. No respect for her staff at all. How must that look to customers? Disgusting. All right, the owner disagrees.
Response from the owner.
Dear keyboard warrior, as the female boss owner, I have no idea what you were referring to. If you are generally concerned about my employees, the mature response will be to raise it with HR to ensure any concerns are properly addressed. Posting it on this forum is just belligerent, but I'm guessing your intent was not to remedy, but to try and shame me. One could question your intentions. She's not backing down.
Do you think Leanne and her have got a tiff going
I
on?
think there might be a few issues there. All right, here we go. We've got Reuben Taylor. I was literally had more brain cells than one of the staff. Almost got kicked out, not because I was almost knocked a 5-year-old, not because I almost knocked a 5-year-old out by accident, but by simply running and holding a dodgeball in the bouncing area in a trampoline park. So this guy would be like a grown adult.
Yeah.
Took out a 5-year-old in dodgeball, and he's blowing up that they said, mate,
You might have to
go.
Response from the owner.
I'm pretty sure the owner's going to say this. Hi, Ruben. Here's a thought. Stop making a nuisance of yourself by running around and running into young children, and we might let you stay and jump. See how many brain cells you have. You shouldn't have a problem following the rules next time you visit. I don't care what you have to do, Dave. You've got to get her in this room.
That's one of my next thing.
Natalie Isles. Staff treatment of minors is disturbing. Disturbing.
Okay.
Who is running this place and what working with children checks are in place? Man, people get really personal.
Yeah.
In reply to your very poor reply, absolutely. But when the aggressors are not removed, but rather the children trying to defend themselves, staff then verbally aggressive towards these children, as I said, disturbing. All right, so is it fair to say that we've got some kids that have been told numerous times, pull your head in, they don't?
Oh, I think they were fighting. I think there was a bit of a brouhaha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think, is the owner going to tell us that? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Hi,
Response from the owner.
Hi, Natalie. Violence will not be tolerated. We'll always ask parents to remove their children from the arena if they are being violent towards other children. I'm terribly sorry if you would disagree with this policy, even after reviewing CCTV footage of your child and their behaviour. Wow.
Yeah.
In future, it would be helpful to review your definition of verbal aggression when, in fact, it was our manager that repeatedly asked you to stop yelling in front of the children. Nice response.
Natalie.
You know what would be good?
Yeah.
I'm all for it, right? I used to see this in the police. when you get like people that make these bullshit claims and say, "Oh, I was just the victim, and I was just being so polite, and they were so rude to me," and this like otherwise, police being so rude and that. I would love to release the body cam footage, like I would here. Love to release the CCTV, pixelate everything to show the incident on a Facebook site or something, and let people say, "Holy kid, man, your kid's just a shit," or "This person's full of shit and lying."
Do you know who Natalie's son is? The bloke who got punched out in front of you at the Bella Vista.
Never held him to account, and now look what happens. Now
this bloke. Her kids are going to get punched out the front of the Bella Vista anytime soon.
Oh, Natalie's the old. Oh, not my boy.
Not my boy.
All right, I don't know if I want to read this one. This sounds bad. So Joe Schmoo. Joe Schmo, sorry.
Yeah, that's why it's bullshit.
I took my quadriplegic sister here for I don't know if I can read the rest of this.
It's okay.
I took my quadriplegic sister here for her 52nd birthday and was denied entry due to safety concerns. Disappointed by the lack of accessibility at this place and would not be returning.
It's a trampoline park.
What's this thinking? Why don't you just take a blind man to the races? Like, what are you doing? Like, no. Take a deaf person to a concert.
Take a blind man driving. Response from the owner.
We have no record of you attending and no staff know of your 52-year-old having a party at a kid's play centre. This isn't funny. This is fake. No shit, it's fake.
Joe Schmoo. Yeah, come on. That's not real.
Shania.
Yep.
Rude manager, poor service. The response from the owner disagrees.
Really?
But you stayed and played. Yeah. So was it really 1 star because you had a bad interaction with a staff member? And I am guessing since all customers are angels, it was obviously our fault. Yes, it is. We got
the next one's my favourite.
I only got a few left. Cat discovery. Okay. Yeah. They kicked out someone for no reason. He was proven innocent on camera, but they still kicked him out and then made everyone leave because of it.
Response from the owner.
I've just read the first line. Fuck me. Hi, Cat. Sexual harassment is not okay. Everyone deserves to work in a safe environment. We only ask the individual to leave after reviewing CCTV footage. Shame on you for supporting this behaviour.
Cat, do better.
Holy shit. Sexual harassment.
Yep.
Who are they harassing? It's a kid's playground.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, people.
Doesn't sound good.
No. All right, we've got Sarah Adadi. Not even 1 star. Not one. Okay. Very poor customer service. I never come back to this place. The owner says, "Hi, Sarah." I love how the owner just gets into it.
She loves it. She's not putting up with it.
"Hi, Sarah. Respectfully, I disagree. You were asked politely to purchase socks and complete a waiver, both of which are conditions of entry. But purely disagreeing with one of our conditions of entry does not equate to poor customer service. Please do better."
She's one of our people. She's one of our people.
How entitled do you have to be that, oh no, I'm not signing a waiver, I'm not getting socks? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, how entitled must someone be?
You know, it's very different. I went through the Blacktown flip out reviews first, and that's all about buying $5 socks, right? They're all blowing up because they don't want to spend $5 on socks.
Take socks with you.
You're not allowed to. You got to have proper flip out.
Oh, really?
Rippy socks, or you can't. They got. Okay. So it's a bit of a.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shit go.
Yeah.
The Castle Hill one, three. So Blacktown's all about the socks. The Castle Hill one, no one gives a shit about the $5, but these are way better. Like the entitlement of people in Castle Hill versus Blacktown is unbelievable.
Sarah actually, and that would be her full name, Sarah Darby.
Yep.
Like, to think that what I'm saying is right, that I shouldn't have to do a waiver or I shouldn't have to purchase socks where everyone else does. And it's a condition of entry. So if you don't like it, don't go.
Yeah, fuck off.
You got options, right?
Yeah. The option is either do it or you don't
not.
do it. But here's the thing, right? When you turn up to a place like that, they've got the little computers there. You go sign in. If you don't have the socks, you buy the socks and you go in and you shut up and you have no issues.
What you do as well, I think, I'm pretty sure it's still the case, is actually when you book, you can book online and you actually do the waiver on your phone. And go straight through. So, yeah, entitlement. All right, we've got Michael Scott. I haven't ever been there, but I just wanted to leave a 1-star review.
Just cause. You're an arsehole, mate.
Oh.
Like the damage that does to a business, 1-star reviews, you just, that's poor.
Yeah, righto. That's bad. That's you don't realise, like when you're a business owner, especially restaurants and or even this field, entertainment, a 1-star review can just cripple the business overnight.
Absolutely.
People just don't care.
No. If you're going to review something if it's not a 5-star review, don't review it.
Yeah.
Unless there was something seriously wrong with the service that you got. Just leave it up. Just park it.
I've only ever given a 1-star review, and it was on a restaurant that when I rang up and said, "Oh, look, can I get a reservation?" They said, "Oh, we only do half reservations, half walk-ins." I said, "Look, I'm going to come in about 6:30. Daughter's got a concert on at what's the name of at Fox Studios there?
Horden.
At the Horden." And I said, and it was around the corner. I said, what are my chances? And they go, "Oh, mate, you'll be fine. You'll be fine." I said, "Sweet." So we went to the Horden, dropped her off, then walked all the way around, and it was a shit fight of a walk. Quite a while. Got there, and we get there, and they go, "Oh, you got a reservation?" I said, "No, we're told you don't have you only do walk-ins." They go, "Oh, no, you need a reservation." I said,
"Oh, you mothers."
I wasn't told that.
Okay.
and it wasn't like if I had just pulled up in the car, it's fine. But we had our daughter with us as well. We walked a fair way, and it was just that thing of like, just be honest. Like if I can't get in, I can't get in.
Yeah.
But tell me that over the phone. I won't bother. But yeah, that's the only time. Only the one time.
I've got a few out there that I've nailed people.
Yeah.
1-3 cabs or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Mum booked a cab to pick her up to take her to the doctors, and they just didn't show up.
Oh, that's shot.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got an 82-year-old woman out there that's done the right thing. She's booked it 3 days in advance, booked it for 12 o'clock to pick her up, take her into Foster to get her eyes done. Right. And they didn't show up. So I've rung can't get a human. I've towed them up.
Yeah, I think that's real.
Also had another one where I had a company pick up freight from the office, a pallet, and one box turned up out of the pallet. It was, $4,000 to get all this gear down to Tasmania, and one solitary box turned up. They split the pallet, couldn't find it for 2 weeks. Thousands of dollars worth of gear, right? Yeah. Anyway,
but that's justified.
They found it, sent it back to my office for me to repack, and then wanted to charge me again to send it to Tasmania. Yeah. And then I said, "Shove it up your ass! I want my money back." Do you think I could find someone to give me them? They raped me, and so I told them they was as useless as a chocolate teacup. I've flogged them. Yeah,
but that's fair enough. I agree with that. All right, we've got the last one here is from 100 Chemistry. "Hi, I am Ben Aroni. I'm very angry at the staff at this venue. Got me in trouble for smuggling dodgeballs into the normal trampoline area. One of the staff is attached below."
You know what they do? I only put this here. It's not overly funny, right? But these pricks put the staff members' photo in the reviews.
That should not be allowed.
I don't think it should be allowed.
It should not be allowed. Not at all. Absolutely not.
Oh, that was dog shit.
Yeah, that is. I completely agree. That should not be allowed because people can do absolute anonymous reviews and can towel someone up, and I think it's grossly unfair. That's horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. So she just goes, "Don't smuggle dodgeballs into the area," but it's
I actually like the idea of smuggling the dodgeballs into the trampoline area.
I think that sounds quite funny. Yeah. I know.
All right. Well, that's
tell the story. I got one more story for you. You have. What about the story that your daughter told you about her job? And that's
all right. So I'll tell you, this is parenting in today's environment. Right?
Yep.
So my daughter works at a swim centre. I won't name the swim centre. I'll just say at a swim centre, teaching kids how to swim. The kids are at all ages. So you got the young kids and they go up to, 11, 12, 13. There was one kid who was in the older range, so probably 11 to 13. She goes into work, manager pulls her aside and says, "Look, the dad of child A has requested that you not correct him or tell him he's doing anything wrong because it hurts his feelings." Now, this kid can't swim.
Yep.
And my daughter's like, "I have to correct him so he can learn how to swim."
Yeah.
The manager and the manager did nothing wrong. The manager's like, "Oh, I know, just do your best." Unfortunately, the parent has made this request because the child's feelings are
See,
hurt.
I think management should say,
I agree.
you can't come to this swim centre
It's a
because the
safety
only way
issue.
I can teach your child how to swim.
But what type of parent says my child can't be told no or can't be told you're doing something wrong that is 12 years old?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of humans are we expecting to be adults that will lead society into the future?
So what job can you get what job can you get where you don't get trained? And by training, say, don't do this.
Imagine you're a Sparky, right?
Yeah.
Imagine a tradie
Allegedly.
a tradie going, yeah, or a tradie's dad saying, hey, you can't tell him, he'll get upset. So just let him
Get
feel his way
electrocuted.
around.
Like, just touch the bar over
Yeah.
there that's live. That's 400
Mate,
amps.
she
And
came
see.
home and she was like angry, but like also like just laughing, going. And she said the kid is a shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Why not? He's never been told no.
And that's exactly right. He is a product of the parenting, right?
Yeah.
And we see it so often now. Like, I wouldn't be a teacher for all the money in the world at the moment,
me neither.
where you cannot discipline a child. The parents just want you to parent. And I say that generally, like, and I'm sure parents are at home going, no, like they do everything. And I've been there myself. I get it. But teachers now are expected to do everything. And if they have to say to a parent, your child has, done X, Y, Z, it's always, well, what made them do that? Like, whose fault is it that my child misbehaved?
Yeah.
It's like, it's your child, not, they look for reasons to, I guess, for an excuse.
Yeah, well, as you know, I'm very invested in my children.
Yeah.
And, mate, we don't get good results out of them all the time. And we've had our teenagers fucking suck.
Teenagers are horrible.
They're just horrible, right? And, at the end of the day, you get one kid will be perfect under that, being invested, and then you'll have one that's a complete shit show, and you got to lean into them and all that. And my kids have been told, I don't know, they didn't. I think they think their first name is no, and don't do that, and shut up. And
I'd be so embarrassed to go up to somebody and say, yeah, my daughter, please don't tell her no, or don't discipline her in any way, shape or form, because it upsets her.
well, I've had problems with some of the girls at soccer, right? And I just don't take the cause up. I don't go to the parent and say your daughter's playing up at soccer training or she's being rude or disrespectful. You just got to let it go, because you just don't know what the response is going to be. So you just let it go.
Really?
Yeah, mate, you can't. People with their kids now it's just too hard. Like, that's why people don't want to coach, or people don't want to referee, because people carry on like pork chops.
So this is why our society is where we are at the moment. There are no consequences for teenagers now. None.
No.
There is not one,
No.
right? They're always that they're the prince or the princess of the family, or they've never had any form of discipline at all. And I'm not saying beat your children, because I never did that. But what I'm saying is there's discipline and there's consequences, and when you don't show that to it in any capability, the child just thinks that they can rule the world, and they can't. They have to learn.
It's also about, I've got a million apprentices over my time of being a Sparky, right? And the last 3 or 4 years, I can't get one through, because they're not prepared for life outside of school. And a lot of them go, oh, I can't work night shift because I can't handle it, or I can't, I don't, or the boys are giving me a hard time, or, and my guys don't. We're not bullying them, but we're just trying to get them to a point.
Mate, it's not bullying, mate.
And sometimes it's to the point where it's just unsafe to have them on site.
There's a comment I use, and I got it from a mate of mine, and hopefully he's going to come on the show. And he says it's not bullying, it's character building.
Yeah.
And the thing I want to speak to my mate, Grant Misons, is his name, is because he has had so much to do in the sporting world and in the professional world over different generations, right? So you're talking about, what was it like to be a player in the early, late 90s at a high level sport? What was it like in the early 2000s, and the changes that we've seen, where the mentality and then and the characteristics of people have changed. Where yet some now they just want to cuddle. You got to cuddle them. You can't be critical of them.
You know when I was a fairly good swimmer in my day, right? The coach of Ian Thorpe, which was what was his name? His son's a pedophile. Paul Frost. So Doug Frost. Sorry, guys.
Doug
Sorry.
Frost, yeah.
So Doug Frost, you'd be swimming along, right, and then whack in the back of the head. He used to throw the kickboard at the back of your head if your stroke was out of.
Well, get your stroke in check.
And he used to give it to you, right?
Absolutely. That was footy
give
training,
it to
though.
you.
Like they would absolutely. And I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm not. But what I'm saying is that there is a balance that we have not found now. Like people just.
Well, I'll tell you, I was talking to one of the blokes at the bar a couple of weeks ago, here after the
Melbourne
this
Cup.
is the entitlement, right?
Yeah.
So they got a package, and it didn't
Melbourne Cup package,
right? And it didn't it included beer and soft drink and all that sort of stuff, but it didn't included really low level wines. Pardon me, but it didn't. Sauvignon Blanc and all the expensive wines weren't. I don't know if that's expensive. I don't know.
But the basic package, right?
Right. So the one of the girls at the bar, he was cracking the shit. So she said, I'll give you one glass, but I can't do any more, right? Comes back to another bartender. He said, mate, it's not part of the package. You can't have it. So he's standing there with his, little bit of wine in his glass, and he throws the glass at him.
That is just disgusting behaviour.
Right. He's only had one glass of wine, and he's had the biggest tantrum in the world because they wouldn't give you what he wanted.
But this is the thing, right? All they would have done is kick him out.
Yeah.
That's the only consequence. What needs to happen, and I'm so for it at the moment, is name and shame.
Yeah.
And I know we've gone off tangent a bit, but
I like a good tangent.
They should have the CCTV on a Facebook page with him being identified.
Yep.
And everyone would know who he is.
Yeah.
And say, this is a guy that just chose to throw a glass at someone for not getting what he wanted.
Do you know, you won't like this story.
Okay,
right?
please go.
But I played up as an 18-year-old at the Revesby Workers Club, right?
Hopefully,
back in the early 90s, right? Fuller's Estate School. Did something quite inappropriate. Won't say what I did, but it wasn't sexual in any nature. It was just I just played up.
I doubt that, but continue.
Anyway, the bouncers gave me a flogging. Right?
So you should.
I got picked up by the boys in blue, put in the back of the old F-150 panel wagons, and they took me down the local park and found every speed bump they could find, right?
Why wouldn't I like this story? This is the best story ever.
I'm handcuffed, right? I'm hitting the roof. I'm going around corners. I'm smashing into that. They bark off me everywhere, right?
Yep.
Took me to the police station, put me in the cells, right?
Yep.
Like, didn't sleep at all because it's shit.
Yep.
Right. And the old days with the concrete
beds, yep.
Yeah, all that stuff, right? Got up in the morning. He hands me a hose, right? And I had to clean all the cells. Cleaned them all out.
Yep.
Right? Then freaking put me in the car, took me home by the ear, right? And says my old man, he played up last night at the Workers Club. I don't think he'll be welcome back there. Obviously, my old man's gone absolutely berserk.
Yep.
Right?
Flogged you some more.
He didn't, but he was not happy.
Yep.
Right? At that time, I think he'd given up.
Yep.
That sort of shit.
Yep.
That afternoon, I was down the Workers Club, apologising, letter, this sort of thing. Went and saw the bouncer, said, mate, can I get your clothes off you? I'll get them dry cleaned and et cetera, et cetera. Did all that sort of stuff. Front of the board, got barred for 12 months. Like, that's the way they dealt with things back in the day.
You know what would happen now?
I was back in 3 months, but don't worry about that.
You know what would happen now?
I'd get charged, for sure.
They would charge the bouncers. They'd charge the cops for driving you around and for obviously assaulting you.
Don't you think, firstly...
This is what I'm saying. It's a completely different society.
But this is the thing, right? My old man went, thank Christ you didn't get charged, right? And you shouldn't have done what you did, et cetera, et cetera.
Your life would have taken a whole different turn.
Right? So... But now they don't have a choice. Mate, we used to have all-in brawls down at the roundhouse at Revesby, right? There'd be fights and all sorts of crap with footy players and all that sort of stuff. Guys I won't mention that played NRL, right? But they had they just break it up. A couple of people would get, taken back to the police station. Next morning be let out. They wouldn't charge them. Just get them, cool them off and then send them on their way. But It wasn't a pleasant experience for you to, they lit you up.
Yeah.
Coppers would light you up.
I'm not saying that that's the way we've got to go, but what I am saying is there needs to be consequences. There has to be consequences.
I don't think there's anything wrong with, at the end of the day, I think most people are smartasses to the cops because they know they're not going to cop a punch in the mouth. Where in the old days, if the old sergeant come out and said, you don't do this, if you didn't listen to him, he'd flog you.
The amount of times that young ones are in custody and it's like, well, the parents, it's just like, oh, not my boy. He wouldn't have done that. Wouldn't have done it. Like, it's disgusting.
You don't end up at the police station without there being signs prior.
100%. 100%. Mate. I reckon from this tragic accident the other day, the 19-year-old that killed the pregnant lady.
What happened there? I didn't...
He just apparently, I think he just ran up the back of her. It must have been at speed. Killed her.
Was he high or...?
No. Oh, no, I don't know, actually. I can't say I don't know.
Because I don't read stories like that.
But he was in the cell, and this is what the news was reporting, more concerned about his car.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Was asking more about his car.
Oh, no, I couldn't
He's
do
just
that.
killed a mother who was expecting her second child, a wife, leaving the husband now to raise a child by himself, and he's more concerned with his car.
What a fucking lowlife.
And I think that if it's I hate to say it, but it's like more of a sign on society at the moment. Like, no one wants to take any responsibility for their behaviour. None.
Yeah, but I think they all hide behind mental health now.
Mate, seriously, the amount of people that go, everyone that goes before a sentence now is, all of them just want to complain about mental health. All of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, my uncle, my dad didn't cuddle me enough, or my uncle
cuddled me too much.
And you can't prove it otherwise. And the judge has got to go, right, what's next? Like, mate, it's a joke.
But now everyone's got anxiety or all that sort of stuff, and it's at the end of the day,
it's a joke.
I've got anxiety before I do this podcast.
I don't.
I know, but you're the talent. You don't have to get all this shit to work.
I don't. No. It's just I choose to let you do it.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's
it
awesome.
works.
Yep.
Can
we go home?
Yeah, can we next week do... I'm sure there are reviews done at police stations.
I've checked. There's not. The government, your fuckwits have shut it down.
That's outrageous.
It is, because I want to see them whinge about the food. I even checked Parkley Jail.
Yeah.
Went on Reddit, everything, tried to find. You can have a look yourself. You're a researcher.
Yeah, I will.
You have a look and see what you can find. But it'd be awesome to do that. I want to,
I saw one before they took it out of Surrey Hills Police Station saying that.
I checked that. It was one of the first I checked.
It was one. It was
and
the
Sizzler, we're going to do the Sizzler at Campbelltown's closed.
Oh.
Closed a year or so ago.
Did it?
Yeah.
It's outrageous. What about the all-you-can-eat Pizza Hut at Windsor?
I'll have a look at that.
All right.
What was the other joint you said one I did look at? The pub?
My wife said the Carousel.
Okay.
At Mount Druitt. All right, that's the episode of Two Shit Blokes Summer Sesh. Big thanks to the Bella for having us once again. Don't forget to follow and hit us with 5 stars. After reading all those, give us a 1 star. Let us respond in kind. We're aware we're awesome, and make sure you follow us on Instagram. Bye for now.
See you guys.